finally arrived at Nalbarra Station, 161,000 hectares of beautiful pastoral land located 70 kilometres north of Paynes Find. This working sheep station is a great holiday destination for those travelling up the Great Northern Highway and a perfect opportunity to experience station life. First night camp of a 5-day expedition through the Murchison region, and we are so excited. We've got the full team here. Mike from Jetfish, Dave and Karen from Wildtrak, and of course myself, Tony. It is going to be awesome. But first things first, we need a feed, and I hear Karen's cooking up a butter chicken for dinner. So let's head over and have a look. We are going to be cooking up some awesome dinner tonight. Karen, what are we cooking and what ingredients are we going to use?
We are cooking butter chicken tonight, and we're serving it with flatbread. And we have here 2 kilos of chicken, 2 large onions diced up, a couple of cloves of garlic, some ginger, some tinned tomatoes, and some crushed cashew nuts that I did at home. Obviously we have some paste, and to finish it off we're going to put some cream and butter. And I'm also going to make some flatbreads to serve.
Now, what do you like the most about camp style cooking?
I think I just like being outside, but I also love the flavour that you get from cooking in a camp oven.
Gives
it's
it that
slightly
nice smoky.
smoky.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? All right, let's get cooking because you know what, I'm starving and I reckon this is going to be probably one of the best meals that I've ever had. I've been in the car a long time today, guys. So let's crack on.
Okay, Tony, I've been heating the camp oven on the fire pit. Chuck in some oil, we'll cook up the chicken, and then we'll do the rest of the cooking on the coals.
Woo. All right, now the camp oven's really hot, so why do you want a good sear on the chicken?
It's just for the flavour, really.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah, it gives it a nice
now,
smoky flavour.
Once we've actually seared it up, we're going to be moving onto the coals. What's the reason for that?
It's a different style of cooking. This is too hot to cook it for a long time.
Right.
So once we get the coals, we'll put most of the coals on the top.
Yeah.
And it'll be a slow cooking process.
Outstanding. All right, what's next now that we've got a bit of a brown on with the chicken?
You keep mixing.
Right.
I'll grab the paste.
Mixing that through.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells fantastic already.
There's 6 of us, so I'm going to do the full jar. Have the onion, garlic and ginger.
So just keep mixing it through?
Yep.
Outstanding.
And I'm going to add some liquid and then the cashew, and we're just going to put it over to the side for a bit.
Okay. Okay, now with the lid on, we need access to our coals. So we're going to lift the fire pit plate off. Now the trick is to get 1/3 of the coals on the bottom and then 2/3 on top.
And the reason for that is it's even cooking through the camp oven and you won't burn the bottom.
How long are we going to be waiting for this one?
Probably about 20 minutes, Tony, but we'll check it after 15.
Oh, here we are here.
Oh my goodness.
In the meantime, I thought you might want to make this little fella.
Hello.
This is Chopper.
He got picked up by a chopper pilot a couple of weeks ago when his mum had passed away, and he's joined the station as part of the station hospitality team.
He's so cute.
Well, it's easy to get sidetracked with this one round, but we'll be back in about 15 minutes to check on the butter chicken.
To go with our butter chicken tonight, I'm going to make some flatbread. We have some flour, oil, baking powder, water and salt. It's pretty simple. Okay, 3 cups of flour into the bowl. I'm going to do a cup of water. Here we are, I'm going to tip that in. We have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You could use any oil, but this is just what I have on hand tonight. Next step is to mix all the ingredients up and then let it sit for about 10 minutes.
Okay team, it's been 15 minutes, so it's time to check the butter chicken. Now, first off, let's get rid of these coals. Now, a little tip, use a dustpan. All right, now if you want to lift the lid on that one there, Karen. Now this is the Wildtrak 9.5 quart camp oven. It's awesome because of the size, but it also produces a really even heat, especially for dishes like this one. Now how's that one looking?
It looks like it's cooked to me. I think we might add the butter and the cream.
All right, I'll go get that one for you.
Go.
So let's pop that butter in, one.
Thank you.
And this is the secret ingredient, the cream. Look at that. All right, now that looks absolutely delicious, but what are we going to be having this one with?
I've been making some flatbread for this tonight.
Now, I saw you knocking that one up before. You know what? I can't wait. So let's get stuck into that flatbread.
Okay, the dough's ready to go. I've had a little feel of it. I'm just going to divide it up into some equal portions. I've just roughly rolled this out and I'm just going to give it a little stretch with my hand and we'll chuck it in.
Straight on.
Yeah. What we do is we wait for it to bubble up and then we turn it. We'll give it 2 to 3 minutes on each side.
All right, this looks awesome, and I think it's time to dish up some of this butter chicken.
Thanks for that, Tony. I'll just put a bit in this bowl. We'll grab a piece of flatbread each and we'll try it. Taste test. No. We actually need the spoon.
Oh wow, that's actually really, really good.
That's delicious.
Oh, that is absolutely sensational. Well, I'm going to make an absolute mess of myself eating, so thanks very much, and it's time for us to have dinner. We're up early to have a quick look around the station, but with no cloud cover overnight, you're guaranteed a chilly morning. So where are we off to next?
Mate, we're off 80 k's up to Mount Magnet, onto Kew, and then I'm going to take you to a really special place called Big Bell.
That sounds like a plan, but there's a bit of cleaning up to do, so I'm going to leave you to it. Mike, I want to go have a look at your rig. Righto, Mike, so when it comes down to the Outback Tourer, I think this 79 series is about as good as it gets. How long have you had it for, and what's the motivation behind this build, mate?
Well, Tony, I've had the cruiser now for a bit over 2 years, and the motivation behind this build was to be a remote, capable tourer and be as self-sufficient as possible while I'm out there.
Now, how far have you gone so far in a rig like this?
Oh, mate, look, I've just come back from a 4-month trip around Australia, gone across the Nalbarra, all the way up through sort of around Cape York region, across the Savannah Way, and then back down the centre of Western Australia.
It sounds like an awesome trip. All right, so let's have a look at some of the parts you've got set up. Let's start at the front. Tell us about the bar work and what you've got going on up here.
Mate, I'm just running a pretty solid front bar with the side rail protection. I think that's really important. Some decent lighting, a big 12,000 pound winch to get me out of a pickle when I really do get stuck, and GME for all my communications.
And on top of the cab?
On top of the cab, I'm just running a platform rack. I've got my recovery boards up there, gas bottle, chainsaw in a bag, and a couple extra aerials up there for other communications.
Now that looks like a pretty decent sized solar panel.
Mate, it's pretty good. It keeps the batteries charged in the canopy just while we're sort of set up camp here for overnight or a couple of days.
Now speaking of the canopy, let's go down the back and have a look. Righto mate, well it looks like the bar's open under this canopy. Now This is a fantastic looking setup. You want to show us around?
Absolutely. Well look, let's start with the fridge. So I've gone with the stand-up fridge. It's 130 litre, and look, you can fit so much gear in here. Like I said, being self-sufficient when you're out on the road, have everything you need.
Do you have any problems in a stand-up fridge with your stuff falling over?
Look, not really. It just all comes down to how you pack it. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you're going to have stuff full, sort of, you know, like your tins of soft drinks and whatever, you know, you sort of really got to pack them in there and pack all your Tim Tams around it too, so it's not going to fly out.
Now, one of the things that I've spotted over here is your slide-out pantry, and that's pretty special.
I love this thing. Single-handed operation. Pull it out. You keep all your supplies in there, all my nice spices and stuff for cooking up some decent steaks. You've got the baked beans in there for the morning, and my personal favourite up the top here, mate, the coffee pods.
Now I've noticed that you've got a pie warmer up there, but it's quite high. Is that so I can't reach it to get too many pies?
100%. I don't want anyone else coming in stealing me pies, mate. But look, I think it's more of a strategic thing having it up there. I keep a little tray in there for defrosting meat during the day, or if I want to cook myself.
That's a good idea.
Well, it's a fantastic idea. I mean, they're great for cooking pies and warming stuff.
Of that.
Look, 100%. It's great to put in there.
Little drawer here?
Yes, mate. Yeah, let's slide her out.
Oh,
so
the whole thing
yeah,
comes out.
the whole thing comes out. So in here, like, I keep stuff, you know, like the milk frother, because I've got the coffee machine.
I can't reach this.
Well, again, strategic. You know, I've got my cutlery roll, my knife roll, a few pots and pans and bits and pieces, even a cookbook. And look, I keep these wipes here because, let's face it, being self-sufficient, you don't really want to use all of your water for washing up all the time, you know. I mean, you need it to sort of remain hydrated on the road. So stuff like these antibacterial wipes, just for, you know, cleaning up a knife after you've made a sanger or something like that.
Now when talking about water, how much water do you carry on board?
So this setup here, I can have 90 litres on board water. I've got 2 tanks, a 30 litre in the headboard and a 60 litre underneath.
How long does that last you?
If I'm careful,
yeah,
about a week.
It's not too bad.
It's pretty good, it's pretty good. Again, using those sanitary wipes there really does help.
Fantastic. All right, now when it comes to sleeping, where's that all located? Up on
Mate,
the roof?
That's on the Taj Mahal up on the roof.
Let's go have a look.
All right, let's do it.
All right, mate, this looks like the access to an absolute Taj Mahal of a rooftop tent. How about you give us a bit of rundown on the sleeping system?
Oh, no worries. Well, it's a really big clamshell rooftop tent. And I've got to tell you, in the weather conditions that I've been in around Australia, and I'm talking torrential rain, cold, hot, steamy, you name it, this is really held up. And it is so comfortable up here. You wouldn't even know you're in a rooftop tent.
So sleeps 2 adults quite comfortably?
Absolutely.
And what have you paired it up with on your awning?
Mate, that's a big 270-degree awning. Comes out around the front as well as all the way around the back.
Awesome. So it looks like you can actually set up quite a decent off-grid base camp here, mate. That's not too bad at all.
Well, mate, having a setup like this, you really can bring all the creature comforts from home, which allows you to stay out in the bush a lot longer.
Mike's away for months at a time, and when you're away for a long time, you need lots of storage, and the Big 79 has heaps of it.
Hey, Tony, before we jump into the cab, let me show you this power system I'm running here in the canopy.
All right, so what are you running?
Mate, I'm running a 200 amp hour lithium setup, which lets me run everything I need. Again, creature comforts of home, you've got the fridge, you've got the inverter there, so I can run most of my 240 volt appliances.
So how long would that last? Like if you're set up on camp, how long would that power system last you?
Whoa, with what I'm currently running, I can easily get a good few days to a week, as long as I get good sunlight during the day to charge up from the solar panel.
Now, what about fuel?
Fuel, well look, I carry 240 litres of fuel across 2 tanks. But,
how far does that get you?
Look, it gets me about, let's say nearly 1,500 odd kilometres.
So doing the quick maths here, well, that's about
You're not going to say
20 litres, 100k?
Look, let's not talk about fuel economy as such.
I reckon I get about 8 in the Jimny.
Oh, well, you know.
9 up a hill. 9 up a hill. How's that
9 up a hill. Yeah, but you're only doing about 30 k's an hour uphill.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's jump in the cab.
All right.
All right, mate, so we're here in the cab and you've done plenty of upgrades in here. And let's be honest, the 79's a bit agricultural from the shop floor, so you've made it pretty luxurious in here.
Yeah, mate, look, stock standard, these things can be quite agricultural, but, you know, to make it more comfortable for these bigger trips, I've opted with the centre console, with the fridge that it's running as a freezer at the moment, keep all the meat nice and frozen.
Yep.
Full stereo system, look, I've even done the steering wheel, and a full insulation throughout the cab as well.
And I tell you what, these seats are actually quite comfortable.
They are, mate, and would you believe, they're also heated.
Heated? Oh,
yeah.
Even the Jimny doesn't have that. Now, what have you done under the bonnet and for your suspension?
Okay, so look, under the bonnet, you know, I've done upgrades such as the turbo, the injectors, intercooler and stuff like that, as well as a big clutch, you know, make sure I get that power from the engine to the road. And as well as that, I've done the full suspension upgrade with the rear diff correction system.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it's almost time for us to saddle up and get out of here. But if you want to see any more of Mike's adventures in this awesome rig, make sure you check him out at Jetfish Offroad on Instagram and YouTube. But we're off to Mount Magnet, mate.
Let's hit the road.
Let's do it. Well, that was Nalbarra Station, but you'll have to wait for next episode where we hit Big Bell, the old Grand Hotel with the longest bar in the Southern Hemisphere, and then onto the coast. See you next time. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like and subscribe to join us on our next adventure.